Just to begin with, we'd like to acknowledge that this morning's event is taking place on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of New Credit and the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe and the Huron-Wendat. We're very grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community. This film is eligible for the Girls People's Choice Award. Please vote online at tiff.net/vote. I'd like to thank the company that brought us this morning's film, True Colors, and Film Italia, who host me when I go to Rome every year for my screenings. A wonderful job. This is the third feature film that Eduardo has directed. And a couple of years ago, we showed a second film, Indivisible, which was a very distinctive film, I thought. And those of you who saw it probably would agree with me, as is this film, which is shot in a very specific part of Italy, which I'd never really known before. The Castella Volturno, north of Naples. It's a kind of fascinating portrait of a subculture, again, as I said, that I had absolutely no idea existed. Eduardo has a wonderful sense of place, but also of character, and the story that this tells, of course, is a pretty fascinating one. But this is almost a society apart from the rest of Italy that he portrays. We're delighted to have Eduardo here today to introduce the film and do a Q&A afterwards. Please join me in welcoming Eduardo De Angelis.
Thank you. Fierce handling. You did the history here. You did something that nobody never forget. Thank you, because you wanted that we are a part of this. It's an honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Eduardo.
About this movie, I have just a few words to say. It's imagine that in the winter time, everything looks dead. So we try to turn on a fire to make warm the atmosphere, waiting for a rebirth of the nature. Think to this character, Maria, like a warm fire in a cold winter. See you later. Thank you again.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you.
Now, before we go to the audience, I'll start it off. Your last film was also set in Caserta, Indivisible, your last film, which we had here. And I'm wondering what it is that compels you about this setting, and specifically the location we saw today, and how it inspired the story.
Sì, in realtà questo luogo non è lontano dal luogo dove era ambientato Indivisibili, è proprio dietro l'angolo. Eppure è un luogo che non conoscevo. Il fiume l'ho esplorato durante i sopralluoghi di sceneggiatura e ho scoperto che anche lì, dove pensavo non ci fosse ormai più nessuno, invece c'è magicamente una forma di vita con le sue regole e la sua struttura.
Posso dire?
You want to translate? Yes, actually, this location is actually not far from the place where we shot Indivisible. It's actually behind the corner. I didn't know about it, though. We explored the river while we were doing some scouting, location scouting, prior to writing the script. I didn't expect anybody to live there, but there are actually people who live there with their own rules and their own structures.
Arrogante. You're arrogante.
Pina, a question for you. This is a very demanding and impressive role. Could you talk about what it was like embodying this character's experience?
No, they speak English. They know what he said.
Questo è un ruolo?
Per te, questo è un ruolo molto difficile da interpretare, è anche molto impressionante. Com'è che hai preparato questo personaggio?
Ok. Abbiamo preparato a lungo questo personaggio con Edoardo, che è un regista molto intenso. Vedi, questo si capisce. Abbiamo lavorato tantissimo sul suo corpo, sul suo modo di fare e chiaramente un attore ha bisogno di capire interiormente qual è il dolore di un personaggio. Questo è il primissimo punto di partenza. Abbiamo lavorato tanto con il cane, con i cavalli, con tantissimi animali e poi siamo stati per tantissimo tempo a Castelvolturno. Questo ci ha, come dire, riempiti i polmoni d'aria di questo luogo straordinario che Edoardo ama e che ha mostrato ampiamente all'interno del suo cinema, delle sue opere. E poi da lì abbiamo cominciato proprio a partire dal dolore di Maria, interpretarlo, capirlo e innamorarci anche delle sue sofferenze, ed abbiamo poi cominciato questa straordinaria avventura. È un personaggio che io amo tantissimo e che amerò sicuramente per sempre, perché sono i classici personaggi che un'attrice non dimenticherà mai più.
Yes, Eduardo and I worked for a long time and very intensely on this character. We started with the body, with her gestures. For an actor, it's important to understand the pain inside of a character. That's the starting point for me. We worked with a dog, with the horses, with the various animals, and of course we lived and breathed the Castel Volturno air. We filled our lungs, this extraordinary land that Eduardo has fallen in love with and has shown in his films, as he said. And we started from Maria's pain and explored the story from her point of view, which is crucial, of course. And I've fallen in love with this character. This is one of those characters, one of those classical characters that an actor falls in love with and never forgets.
Questions from the audience? Yes, go ahead.
I was wondering how much of it is based on real life events. Like, did you research it? Or did you meet people involved in these kind of situations? Or did you maybe read articles in newspapers that inspired it?
Question is about how much the film is based in reality and from your research of what was actually happening in by the Volturno River.
La realtà è il punto di partenza di questo racconto. L'indagine sulla realtà è stata fatta in maniera molto approfondita. Ho raccolto molte interviste, ho incontrato molte persone che vivono lì, ma è un posto che, come diceva Pina, io frequento da molto tempo, eppure non cessa di rivelarmi nuove sorprese. Chiaramente poi nel processo di trasfigurazione del racconto tutta la realtà è finita nel frullatore della narrazione, alla ricerca di una sorta di distillato di questa realtà che nei miei desideri dovrebbe superare la mera forma del realismo per cogliere invece una forma di verità.
Well, of course, reality is a starting point of the story, and then I examined it in a great depth by interviewing a lot of the people who live in that area. As Pina said before, I have been to this place for a long time, many, many times, and it never ceases to amaze and surprise me. In the process of transforming these ideas into a story, we took reality, we put it in a blender, and we came up with the script, which is a kind of distillation of reality. And in my desires, I want to go beyond mere formal realism and get into the nitty-gritty of the reality of the location.
More questions? Yes. Are you going to release the soundtrack to the film?
Yes. We'll do it. Yeah. We'll do it because io lavoro sempre con Enzo in una sorta di continua rincorsa reciproca tra le note e le immagini. Quelle note sono le uniche che io riesco ad immaginare e a sentire per far suonare questi film che vengono generati da quella terra.
Yes, Enzo Avitabile and I work together. We have worked before, and we keep chasing each other with my images and his music. And his notes are the only notes that I can imagine, I can feel when I create the film, and that are strictly belonging to this land.
We have time for just one last question. Yes.
Yes. It's a traditional song. No, non è Nigeria, è... no, yes, sì, because questa canzone è un omaggio a Miriam Makeba, che è una cantante africana che è morta proprio a Castelvolturno durante un concerto 10 anni fa.
Yes, the song is an homage to Miriam Makeba, who died during a concert at Castelvolturno 10 years ago.
Yes, another hand. Let's do one more question. Did I see another hand? Yes, go ahead.
It's not explained for me very well. Why would you say that?
So the doctor says she would die giving
Yes,
birth,
I
but
get
it's not explained. Could you talk about that?
Perché noi all'inizio del film vediamo una bambina ferita che sta per annegare e viene salvata. Quella bambina è stata violentata e una forza devastante l'ha distrutta all'interno. I suoi organi sono stati ricuciti, ma questa sua sanità è precaria e quindi c'è un rischio fisico per il parto.
At the beginning of the film, we see an injured girl who's drowning almost. She's saved. She was raped. She was a victim of sexual assault. And this devastating force has ruined her, has lacerated her on the inside, and her organs have been sewn up again. So her health is very precarious. So there is a great deal of risk for her if she gives birth to a child.
Questa storia si ispira ad una storia vera che avevo letto su una rivista, dove un medico di Medici Senza Frontiere raccontava che aveva fatto degli interventi in un villaggio africano dove molte bambine durante la notte venivano violentate, anche bambine molto piccole di 3-4 anni. E lui dichiara al giornalista: io questa bambina l'ho ricucita, ma mentre la ricucivo piangevo perché sapevo che potevo salvarle la vita, ma non sapevo a che tipo di vita lei sarebbe andata incontro.
This story is inspired by a true story that I read in a magazine about a doctor who worked for Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders. And there's an interview with this doctor who works in an African village, and he says that a lot of girls, even as young as 3 or 4 years old, at night, they are raped by men. And the doctor is telling the journalist that I took this girl and I sewed her back up, but I was doing it, I was crying because I was saving her life, but I was wondering what type of a life am I saving her for?
It's a dark note to end on, but we're all out of time. I want to thank you so much, Eduardo and Pina, for coming here and bringing your film to Toronto. Thank you for staying. Don't forget to vote for the Gross People's Choice Award and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you again. Grazie, Adam.